Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
Finding a new job is stressful, but with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Llegaron los nuevos McCrispy Strips, listos para aventurarse en la mezcla de mayo ketchup, la barbecue que quedó en el fondo de la cajita, hot fudge sundae y en la nueva creamy chili McCrispy Strip dip. Los nuevos McCrispy Strips, ahora en McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Let's see what's going on out. What the hell? Matthew.
Hey.
What are you doing on your hands and knees in my backyard?
Well, hey there, little buddy. Sorry you come in a precarious position there. I'm just down here on the dirt, getting some of that good old minerals in there, feeding that microbiome.
What are you talking about? Just have some probiotics or something.
Oh, Mumford. This is what all the celebrities are doing nowadays. We roll out of bed, see that sunrise, and say, all right. And we drop down on those knees, and we say, woo-hoo! Time to eat some dirt. No finer dirt on the planet than Los Angeles. Yes, indeed, boy. God's finest.
Okay, Matthew, but I just saw you eat some dog poop.
Well, hell, son. So I did. That's a 5-second rule if I ever seen one.
On second thought, I think I'm going to see what's going on inside.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Am I telling you to eat dirt? Well, maybe I am. Well, hell. Now, it is interesting. I mean, there are accounts of kids who are like mineral deficient because we're all depleted nowadays, and they eat dirt because their body's intuitively telling them that they need more minerals. So there is a little something to that. And of course, yes, it does feed the microbiome. But we're not going to be talking about eating dirt specifically. You're going to think I lost my mind even more than I already have. No, we're going to talk today about a new take on you are the 5 people you hang around with the most. And we're also going to use that in a different way of maybe you might need a little bit of an upgrade these days. Maybe you need a little bit of a different perspective or some different energy, or maybe you're just falling in a rut and you're doing the same thing and you're not happy with the results you're getting. Well, sometimes you can do all the things you want. You can do all these things right and, still plateau or still kind of get the same results that you're used to getting. And I'm always here to think outside the box and to get some different perspectives and some different ideas out there. So maybe it's just as simple as shaking it up a little bit and getting out there and doing some microbial or energetic upgrades. Maybe you do need to hang around with a couple different people. I'm not saying change your friends or anything. I'm not saying, oh, you got to change your friend group. But like, for example, with me, right? I have been housebound for a long time because I've been really sick. And, rather than go and hang out with a bunch of other people who are sick and get into these chronic Lyme groups, which are great. I mean, they're great support systems and I'm all about them. But as far as like maybe trying to get yourself well, get yourself into a different state, you don't want to necessarily get into a group where you're going to be, because there's certain Facebook groups, there are support groups that kind of end up devolving into just negatively talking about symptoms like, oh, I'm going through this. Oh, no, I'm going through this. Oh, well, that's nothing. This is what I'm going through. And that doesn't really help anybody. It doesn't really help you get well. And even on a deeper level, we do share microbes. It has been verified in science many times over and over again that now we are actually breathing in the microbes of people around us. I know it's kind of gross, but we're sharing our microbes, and yeah, it's getting into our microbiome. It's affecting the way we behave and our physiology and even our mentality on some level. So if you're hanging around with a bunch of people who are sick like you might not be giving yourself that microbial boost even that you might need to get over that, or, a different type of perspective or energy that you might need that might give you a boost to look at something a different way, or to, just go, I'm going to power through this. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm still really struggling hard, and, I'm doing everything I can. But this is one of those things that I think about, which is like, well, go hang out at a gym where people are young and building muscle, and, their metabolism is going really well. Get some new energy and some new microbes in there. I know it sounds crazy, but it's something that is happening nowadays. Like, you've heard of, this might be a little TMI for some people, but it's out there, and you're going to hear more about it as time passes on. I'm sure you've heard of like fecal transplants. Well, bear with me here. A lot of people who have, horrible chronic illnesses, they will do a fecal transplant to change their microbiome. And some of these people will find that they go into remission. It's dangerous, but there are things online. There are organizations online where people are buying these things kind of on the black market. I know it's gross, but they have done studies, and there's documentaries. There's even one on Netflix. And there's a girl who does like fecal transplant from her boyfriend, and some of her depression goes away. She starts to adopt some of the mentality of her boyfriend, and then she tries it with somebody else in her family, and it changes again, and she adopts some of their mannerisms, not like their personality, but specifically a mindset. Like if you have a little bit of depression or anxiety, you might be able to get that from somebody else. So you got to be careful who you hang out with. It's not just, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most, meaning they come from a socioeconomic background. They make this amount of money, X amount of money per year, and then you want to make more money. So you hang out with wealthy people and you learn some tricks and you get that energy from them and you start to up your game. Yes, that's true. Sure. You can do that by just hanging around people and getting ideas and soaking up their energy and soaking up their experience and like learning tips and tools and tricks and hacks and all that stuff. We talk about all that. We've talked about that before on the podcast, but even on a deeper level, maybe it's time to be a little more conscious about, what's going into these people's bodies, the health of the people you hang around with, the mindset of the people you hang around with, the energy and mental health and stamina of the people that you hang around with. Maybe it's just something you need to shake it up a little bit sometimes. Okay. This is why groups like AA never worked for me personally. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with AA. I know it's helped a lot of people. And, if you're looking for help and you have a problem with alcohol, check it out for sure. I know it's helped so many people. But for me personally, I went to a few things. I went to a couple meetings, and I found that it became almost like an addictive way of talking about your problems. And it was like trading almost like the alcoholism for talking about your story of being an alcoholic and sharing all these horrible stories. And that can be cathartic and it can help a lot of people. But for me specifically, I found that it put me deeper in a rut and it didn't make me feel very good. So I was like, well, maybe I just need to hang around with more positive people, or people who are kind of killing it on another level, or people who just don't drink and they choose not to drink because it is something that holds them back and keeps them from, achieving their goals. So that's what I chose to focus on. And it worked for me. And that's kind of what we're really getting at today, is choosing to focus on a type of person or a type of energy you want to be around. And maybe you want that total picture, somebody who's doing really well, who's killing it monetarily, who has great relationships, who has really good health, who is health conscious, who has a good mentality and positive energy, and their mental health is on point. Maybe you want to start trying to find some stuff like that. And, maybe it's just as simple as hanging around people like that from time to time. Maybe it's as simple, like for me, a little hack that I do, and I know a lot of people do that nowadays, because I am homebound and because I've been struggling so much. I get a lot of that from the things that I expose myself to, that I take in from like a documentary standpoint or from YouTube or podcasts. I listen to people like this that fill me up with a good energy and with knowledge and positive energy, and who are doing well in their own right. And that has been able to sustain me in this time that's been very difficult. But maybe if you're able-bodied and you can do it, maybe go find some groups that are, have some some traits that you want to take on, or have some energy that you're lacking in your life, or have the ability, like maybe you're a procrastinator and you go find people who are very consistent and proactive and you want to hang around with that. And maybe, not only do you adopt some of their habits and their energy, maybe you get a couple of those microbes in there, I'm not saying to go eat their dirt in their backyard, but maybe you get some of those microbes in there too that also shift your microbiome and your health in a way that's positive. These are all things that are so interesting and can give you a little bit of, maybe not a level up, but maybe they do. But maybe it's just as simple as giving you a little bit of a perspective shift or a mindset shift. We have talked about, and there have been a lot of studies like the Heart Math Institute. They talk about how, your heart sends out a vibration and a resonance that we can feel for, I can't remember how many feet it is around us, but it's pretty large and it affects the people around us. So there's a lot of data from a lot of different levels on a lot of different angles that...
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
We are affected by the energy, the microbes, the thoughts, the habits, and all the other things of people around us. So it might be something, if you're struggling right now and you're looking for a little bit of an edge, maybe you want to just start thinking about just adding another different type of person into your friend group, or going and hanging around with or in an environment. Maybe it's a park where you like the type of people. It's a dog park or something. Maybe it's something where you feel good. There's a good energy, but you've gone and you've scoped it out and you like the type of people that are there. Maybe they have a good energy. Maybe they're healthy. Maybe they are always talking and laughing. Maybe that gives you just a little bit of a shakeup and a perspective shift that's different from the friend group that you have. So you can find these little things, like you can go to libraries, you can go to the mall, maybe you can go down to the Grove if you're in Los Angeles, or, you can go to the movie theater, or, just walk around in a certain park, or go to the beach, or whatever. Find a group that resonates with you, or it could be a meetup group, some people that give you something that is lacking in your life. But I think we owe it to ourselves to try to better ourselves in a lot of different ways. And I think you'll find that this will make you a better person, a stronger person, and might elevate your game a little bit as an artist. And you can find artist groups too, but just be selective. Don't find the types of artist groups that are also maybe in the exact same situation that you're in right now, or maybe a different type of artist group that's negative. Try to avoid that. If that's something that you're trying to get out of that headspace, try to find a group that's really killing it, that's positive. And if you can't find that, you can find people, like I said, on YouTube or podcasts or things like that. Hopefully you get that from listening to this podcast. So that's that. I'm going to leave it there. Not only are we affected by the people around us from like a monetary standpoint, from a habit standpoint, from how they're doing in life, the people they surround themselves with, the thoughts that they think, but we are also on a deeper level, on a quantum level, we are affected by their energy. We're affected by their microbes. We might even be affected by their mitochondrial health. Who knows? So I'm sure we're going to be finding more and more about that with science as it progresses. But I do know that all of these things are impactful and can help you to, raise your health level, raise your artistic game, raise your mentality, and maybe get you out of a funk if you're in a funk right now. So just another angle to look at today. I'm going to leave it at that. Don't go outside and start eating dirt unless you want to, unless it's very healthy dirt that you've put in your garden and you can vouch for it. Hey, I'm not judging if that's the case. Don't need to eat dirt, but let's just think about what we are exposing ourselves to and make some better choices. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care of everyone else around you, and we'll see you next time on the next episode.
Wait a second, is he gone? Oh, all right, he's out of here. You know what? I'm gonna see what all the fuss is about. Let me try some of this dirt. Oh, you know what? I feel pretty good. I'm gonna go out and win an Oscar.
And win an Oscar he did. This podcast has been brought to you by Dirt. It's what's for dinner.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.